Part 5. The Fall of the Gods. The morning air smelled of smoke and ash. Rome was a city scarred, yet alive. Its people too proud, too stubborn to mourn the burned stones. Marcus Valerius awoke not in chains, but in darkness, hidden beneath the rubble of a collapsed cell. The weak beam of sunlight, cutting through the stone dust, revealed the marks of struggle. Tigellinus had come, yet left, distracted, perhaps overconfident. He rose, muscles aching, blood seeping from bruises, and clenched his fists. Today, the arena, the palace, and the Senate were behind him. Now the battlefield was Rome itself. The Secret Scroll. In a hidden compartment beneath the rubble, Marcus found it. The real scroll Livia had entrusted to him before her capture. Its edges were singed, ink smeared, yet the message was clear. The scroll contained the names of senators, generals, and priests complicit in Nero's fire, a secret network known as the Aquila Divina, the Eagle and Serpent Order. It detailed Nero's plan to consolidate absolute power, purge the city, elevate the loyal, and rewrite history in his image. If exposed, the empire would fracture, the Senate would rise, the praetorians would split, Rome could burn again. Marcus realized the stakes. He did not simply fight for freedom. He fought to save a city from total annihilation. The rebellion begins. That night, he moved swiftly through the streets, calling upon those who had once followed him in the arena. Freed slaves, disillusioned soldiers, and even some of the remaining gladiators. Rome is ours to save, not for Nero, not for the emperor, for the people, for justice. By dawn, a ragged army had formed. Torches burned in alleyways, and banners of defiance, a phoenix rising from ashes, fluttered against the first light. Among them, Marcus saw familiar faces, Nero, the Gaul, wielding a spear, and several members of the secretive order who had fled Nero's grasp. Livia's plan was in motion, even if she herself was gone. The siege of the Domus Aurea. The rebels struck at the palace itself, the golden lair of Nero, a symbol of tyranny. Soldiers clashed with gladiators, the shouts of combat echoing through marble halls. Marcus cut through corridors, avoiding praetorian patrols, following the pulse of the city's heart. He found Tigellinus waiting, sword drawn, a sneer of certainty on his face. "So the little philosopher returns to play with fire?" Tigellinus said. "No, I return to cut the serpent at its head." The battle was swift and brutal. Tigellinus was strong, but Marcus's determination burned brighter than steel. When the praetorian fell, Marcus realized the serpent's grip on Rome was weakening. Confrontation with Nero. Finally, in the emperor's private chamber, Marcus found Nero, singing softly, playing his lyre as though the city's chaos was mere background music. "Marcus," Nero cried, "I knew you would come. Do you not see? I am Rome incarnate. Without me, she is nothing. Rome is not a man. Rome is the people, the streets, the children, not your whims, not your fire." Nero laughed, rising from his couch. "Then you will die like a philosopher, yet you amuse me more than any senator ever could." Steel met steel. Marcus dodged, parried, and struck with precision. The room erupted in violence, statues shattered, torches fell. Finally, with one decisive blow, Marcus disarmed Nero and forced him to kneel. The emperor's golden mask of divinity cracked, revealing the terrified man beneath. "Rome is yours now," Marcus said, breathing heavily. "Rule her with blood or mercy. The choice is yours, Nero." Nero's eyes flickered. The first human fear he had felt in decades shone clearly. He did not plead. He did not resist further. He was a god dethroned. The truth revealed. Marcus took the scroll and presented it to the Senate, the true defenders of Rome, and to the people who had suffered under Nero's chaos. The conspirators of the Ocula Divina were exposed. Arrests were made, secrets revealed. Rome teetered on the brink of civil war, but the city, resilient as ever, began to heal. He had risked everything, his life, his freedom, and even his soul, but Rome had survived, and in the ashes of tyranny, a new era of hope could begin. The legacy of the gladiator. Marcus Valerius returned to the arena one final time, not to fight, but to address the people. He spoke of courage, truth, and the power of the few to shape the many. "The empire does not belong to emperors, nor to conspirators. It belongs to all of us. Guard it well, or the shadows will rise again." The people cheered, and the sand of the arena glimmered in the sunlight, and for the first time, Marcus felt truly free. Yet, in the shadows, the symbol of the eagle remained, a reminder that vigilance is eternal, and that the fight for justice never ends.
The Chains of Empire. Part 6. The Reign of Shadows. Rome breathed uneasily in the weeks after Nero's fall. The city's veins pulsed with whispered rumors, fear and hope intertwined. The Praetorians had fractured. The Senate attempted to assert authority, but no one dared declare control over the empire entirely. Amid this chaos, Marcus Valerius moved as both savior and shadow. The gladiator who had become more than a man, a symbol, a sword, and a conscience for Rome itself. The hidden order. Even with Nero deposed and the conspiracy exposed, Marcus knew the Aquila Divina still lingered, its tendrils embedded deep within the aristocracy. Names had been struck from the scroll, some allies had disappeared, and whispers of a hidden faction haunted every council chamber. Livia Domitia, alive and waiting in the catacombs beneath the Forum, warned him, "Marcus, some among the order want the empire for themselves. They see you as a pawn, not a liberator. Trust no one completely." Marcus clenched his fists. "Then we will strike first before they can rise. And if we fail, then Rome falls and we all become ashes." The pair devised a plan. Infiltrate the remaining senators and generals loyal to the corrupted Eagle faction, gather proof of their treachery, and rally the city's remaining military forces. The battle in the catacombs. On a moonless night, Marcus and a small band of loyalists descended into the labyrinthine tunnels beneath Rome. Torches flickered on walls etched with centuries-old graffiti, the ghosts of history whispering warnings through the damp stone. A patrol of Aquila Divina agents blocked their path. Steel met steel, and the fight erupted in shadows and echoes. Marcus moved like a phantom, his blade precise, his mind calculating. Every strike, every parry was not for glory, but survival and for the empire. By dawn, the tunnels ran silent. The surviving conspirators had been captured or fled, their plans dismantled. Marcus and Livia emerged into the streets, bloodied but unbroken. "Rome will remember this night," Marcus said, surveying the city as smoke curled from the remnants of Nero's golden house. "And some will never forgive us," Livia replied. The Senate's reckoning. With the conspirators exposed, Marcus called a council of the remaining senators. The once fractured republic listened as he laid bare the full truth of Nero's tyranny and the secret order's manipulations. Rome cannot survive if its leaders hide in shadows, he declared. The empire belongs to its people, not its tyrants. Justice will be swift, but measured. Power must serve, not devour. The senators, many trembling in guilt and fear, acquiesced. A new system of checks was proposed, a delicate balance between Senate, military, and citizenry. Marcus knew it was imperfect, but it was a beginning. The last betrayal. Just as Marcus believed the city could heal, a new threat emerged. Tigellinus, presumed dead in the palace battle, revealed himself in the forum with a cadre of mercenaries. "You think this empire belongs to the people?" he shouted, his sword glinting. "It belongs to those who wield it." The clash was monumental. Marcus fought with unmatched fury, every move a combination of gladiatorial skill and strategic cunning. The streets ran with dust, sweat, and blood. Citizens watched from the shadows, inspired and terrified. Finally, Marcus confronted Tigellinus atop the steps of the Senate. With a decisive strike, he disarmed the treacherous prefect and hurled him into the Tiber. Rome's greatest internal threat was extinguished. The calm before dawn. As the sun rose over Rome, the city's scars were visible. Burned buildings, shattered marble, and empty forums. Yet the people began to move, rebuilding, speaking, living. Marcus Valerius, gladiator turned liberator, stood atop the steps of the Senate, looking over a city that had survived fire, tyranny, and betrayal. Livia approached. "Do you regret it?" she asked softly. Marcus shook his head. "I've learned that freedom is never free, and justice never simple. Rome will always demand its guardians." "Then will you stay?" "I will watch and intervene when shadows rise again, but Rome must learn to walk without my sword." The wind carried the sound of hammers and voices, rebuilding the city, a symphony of resilience. Marcus knew the battle was over, for now, but the war for Rome's soul would echo through generations.